it's Thistle and Verse, and today I'm going to be doing a haul video. I know I said on Twitter that I wasn't really planning on doing any hauls during quarantine because most of the hauls I do are library hauls, and for a while I didn't have library access, and even now with contactless pickup, like the range of books I'm able to get and like when I'm able to get them is pretty severely limited. But sort of towards the beginning of quarantine, I panic/sad bought a bunch of books. I mean, like, I rationalized it in my head by being like, oh, I'm not gonna have library access, like, I'm gonna need some way to keep reading, like, longer stuff, because I don't want to be reading free short stories online indefinitely. But, like, that's a load, right? Like, I have enough books in my room to probably keep me occupied for at least a year. Partially because a lot of the books that I own I don't want to read, but I bought them, so I should read them at some point before I donate them. Hopefully there will be no more panic buys or sad buys, and over the course of quarantine I've won some books, so I thought I might as well, go through them, tell you what I bought and what they're about. So first up is Love, Love, Fighting by Shireen Morishita. I won this from Mama Loves Manga. She is a manga tuber. I don't know exactly what genres she reads. It is embarrassing how long I've been dabbling in manga and I still know so very little about it, but I think she mostly reads shoujo and josei and like assorted erotica. And she had a Twitter giveaway and I entered and I won this. I believe this started as a webtoon or a webcomic, and then the creator got a bind-up printed. And from what I know, it is a rom-com about an African-American woman who is in South Korea. I'm not sure if it's for work or for school or what have you. And I believe that it involves fake dating. Like, I think they work in some sort of theater production. And, like, I think they're, like, dating through the show, and then that might or might not turn into something more. That's just kind of my guess based off like the first couple pages I skimmed, because the synopsis on the back doesn't tell you a whole lot. I'm looking forward to seeing a Black creator's take on a medium that I've enjoyed for so long. Also, it was signed and it came with a cute little bookmark. Looking forward to this. Thank you again to Mama Loves Manga. If you haven't checked her out before, you should. Next up is A Ruin of Shadows by L.D. Lewis. I'm familiar with L.D. Lewis because of a short story she wrote, which I really loved, called Signal. And also, L.D. Lewis, I believe, is the managing editor of Faya Literary Magazine, which is one of my favorite literary magazines, which I am currently subscribed to. And it is dedicated to speculative fiction by Black authors. So that's how I'm familiar with this author, and I was excited to pick up this novella from her. I'll read the summary from the back. General Danja Edo is a legend, head of the Borean Empire's military and possessor of a mask of invulnerability. She has raised her shadow army of 7 assassins from childhood. But mounting disillusionment over a life of brutality, a petulant emperor, and prodding from the artful Jinni force her to defy orders for the first time in her 30-year career. When the Empire decides they no longer need Edo, if they can get the mask, she must face the monsters of her own making and the legacy they've turned against her. We've got a morally gray, immoral protagonist, and we've got magic, and yes. And also I just really liked the cover. Like this, I'll show you the full thing so you can get the full effect, but I just love that sky. It's so gorgeous. And the plant life and whatnot. Love it. And next up is another novella, She Who Hears All Whispers by Devon Sanders, who is another Faya Lit Mag alumnus, editor, and this is another fantasy, and it's set in a world where people draw magic from this like multifaceted sickness called the phage. There are people who kind of serve as hosts for the phage, and then like the magic users siphon the power from those afflicted with it for their own gains, and it is about one woman and her quest for revenge against the most powerful mage in the Empire. And next up is The Haunting of Tramcar 15 by P. Jelly Clark. I have read a couple of Clark's other works. I really enjoy his stuff. I think he's kind of known for doing more historical, more steampunky work. Like, that's at least where I have liked his work the best. If you've read A Dead Djinn in Cairo, it's in the same universe as that, but just with different characters. So this is set in like a steampunk Egypt and in a world where jinn and other supernatural creatures coexist with humanity. There's a few agents in the Ministry of Alchemy, Enchantments, and Supernatural Entities who get a case about a haunted tramcar. They have to figure out why the supernatural being is sticking around and try to get it to skedaddle. My next purchase was Juniper Leaves, The Otherworldly Tale of a Lonesome Magical Girl by Jazz Joyner. I bought this off of a recommendation from Onyx Pages. She has a review up on her channel, which I will link in this video. She was very passionate and she had a very high opinion of this book, so I decided to pick it up. The summary says, kinky-haired, blurred Juniper Bray used to believe in magic until she lost her best friend, her grandmother. Now this 15-year-old shy girl is going on her dad's research trip to a farm hundreds of miles away to stay with a family she barely knows and the opposite of a best friend, her new arch-nemesis, Bree McKinney. Little does she know, the next few months, Juniper will discover magical powers she never knew she had, stumble into her first crush, and, well, quite frankly, save the world. Juniper Leaves is a fantastical coming-of-age tale of a girl who learns to let go, live a little, and best of all, believe in herself, all before her 16th birthday. So, I'm excited for this. You know, what's not to like about girls with magic? Like, I don't know. No complaints from me. My next purchase was Image of Emeralds and Chocolate by K. Marie Johnson. I don't remember how I stumbled upon this book, but I heard that this is a Black gay romance that involves vampires, and that's just intriguing to me. Like, I don't know of too many Black gay stories in fantasy in general, and I definitely don't know very many Black gay authors in fantasy right now. I kind of pride myself on, if I don't know something, like being able to find it for people. So, you know, when I heard of this story, I was very intrigued. I definitely wanted to read it. It says, set in Louisiana, Image of Emeralds and Chocolate masterfully explores the past and the present. The novel speaks to all who have ever dreamed of finding romance and captures the national obsession with vampires. The story follows Eric Peterson, a talented high school senior enrolled in a creative writing course at Loyola University. Insecure and inexperienced, he often daydreams about finding love. His fantasies quickly become reality when a strikingly attractive new student, Marquis LeBlanc, is assigned as his writing partner. But the man of Eric's dreams is hiding something. Marquis has been severely depressed for a very long time. His therapeutic motive for enrolling in a writing class is abruptly derailed when he unexpectedly falls in love for the second time in his life. If Marquis reveals his secret, will Eric accept him or even believe him? So, this will be interesting. Yeah, it's just like a lot of unknowns for me. Like, I don't read a whole lot of paranormal romance. So, you know, I'm looking forward to it. So this was another book that I won. I won a copy of Deathless Divide by Justina Ireland because Justina Ireland was running a giveaway. Thank you to Justina Ireland for this beautiful version of this book. So it's like hardcover. I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was going to be like old arcs or something, but it's very nice. This is the sequel to Dread Nation, which is a book that I adored. Jane McKean is just such an action hero. Like, she is so good with the scythe. Like, I want to see her, you know, slicing up shamblers on the big screen. I know people have had a lot of issues with it in terms of how it deals with colorism and its portrayal of Native Americans. I kind of assumed a lot of things, especially like the colorism storyline, were going to be resolved in this book. So I'm hoping that it will be done in a good way, because I feel like I understand why authors will make readers wait, but I feel like for some of the things that people are bringing up, that's something you kind of want resolved within the first book. Like, you don't always get a chance at a reader going through your series. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to Jane cutting up some shamblers and hanging out with Catherine. I would recommend, I believe that Neeks has a review of this, which I will link, which honestly, like, it sounds like a lot of things that people having issues with in the first book were resolved, and it feels like things will be issues for me were introduced, so like, we'll see where this goes. I feel like I just have like the FIA Lit Mag like alumni here, because Justina Ireland, I believe, is also a co-founder of FIA Lit Mag. Next book is The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin. I don't know if I really need to give a summary for this one. I feel like people have been hearing all the hype about this. It's sort of a reworking of her short story, The City Born Great. It's about a version of New York City where a person from each borough is designated as its avatar, and they have to fight off this like existential threat that feeds on the energy of cities. And you know, Jemisin's a fave. Her world building is great and she's so consistent. Honestly, this isn't a book where I was like immediately heard the premise and like I have to read it. The City Born Great was not my favorite short story from her repertoire from How Long Till Black Futures Month, her short story collection. And I really just associate N.K. Jemisin so strongly with like secondary worlds that like when I heard she was doing urban fantasy, I did kind of like have to pause for a second. But, you know, I've heard nothing but great things. I'm sure it'll be a good read. And also, I mentioned a few videos ago that, like, I pre-ordered a book for from a local bookstore because they opened, like, right as COVID was going off. I didn't want them to go under. This was from Harriet's Bookshop in Philly. They do still do online orders for people who are interested in that. And I'm trying to buddy read this with Noria of Noria Reads, so I'm hoping that will be a good time. Well, I love N.K. Jemisin, and if you know Noria, then you know that buddy reading with her will be a good time, so the only thing that could possibly get in the way is me. I'm just feeling a little spread thin with all the books I'm trying to read and like the content I'm trying to manage, and it's funny because it's really not that much stuff. It's just like I like complicating my life and overthinking things and making things difficult, so I'm spread thin when I really don't need to be. Last one up is Daughters of Enri by Rennie K. Amayo. I'm buddy reading this with Lexi, Library of Lexi. I am lagging quite far behind her, but that's okay. Everyone in their own time. Daughters of Enri, I believe, draws on like some, you know, Igbo folklore and cosmologies and is like a epic fantasy about a world where the gods are presumed to be dead. And there are two mysterious twins separated at birth who somehow carry on the power of the dead gods. There is the ruler of their kingdom, the Eze, and he is generally revered as the person who secured the kingdom's prosperity, but some shady things are coming to light about him. There's some whispers against him, and it's starting this whole political intrigue plot that will draw these separated sisters back together. So it's a book I'm looking forward to, and like I think everyone who's got the book has commented on how gorgeous the cover is, but like gosh, the cover is gorgeous. The lighting, the gold. I'm not usually big on like books without covers either, but like I started paying attention to people's booktube videos. I started paying more attention to like the material that things are printed on. I don't know what it is. I really like it. Like, I don't see too many books naked with like the lettering on it. It's like a really smooth, nice matte. And like, I usually really like that weird musty old book smell, but this one has like a nice new book smell too. I don't know what it is. This book is just like great. This book is just like great on like a sensory level. So those are all the books that I panic/sad bought at the beginning of quarantine. If you like the video, please hit the like button. If you've read any of the books that I mentioned and you want to tell me something about them, please comment below. Or if you just kind of want to talk about how quarantine has affected book buying for you, like I'm definitely looking more at like ebook options now. When I do purchase, I usually purchase used, and like that's also kind of out the door because of COVID and infection concerns. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. I hope you and your family are staying safe and in good health. Bye.